It's been a hot minute since I spoke to camera. I don't even know if I remember how to do this. So let's give it a shot. One of my 2025 goals, projects, if you will, is to catalog my library. That massive thing behind me. And also that's not it, because I have a box of books down there, and I'm pretty sure I have a couple boxes of books in my godmother's storage unit. So there's more than just that. And also you can't take that at face value, because there's books behind that. Also there's books in the cart over there in the corner. Also there's more books over there in my nightstand. So there's a lot of books. And I told a friend the other day that I don't actually have a catalog of all the books that I have here, or in my life in general, which she was horrified by, rightly so, especially knowing me, that I keep track of everything in my life, and yet I have no catalog for my library. She was probably right to be horrified by that. I talked to her about that after I'd already made this goal. So timely, I suppose you could say. So how am I gonna do this? A couple months ago, one of my greatest friends, because she knows me so well, got me this. Because she saw it online and she was like, Tati needs this, right? And so it's this little thingamajig. It makes a sound, and then you can scan your books and supposedly it creates a database for you, right? And so I have to like hook it up to my computer, the entire thing, right? And it's gonna create a digital database for me, right? Because I've tried to catalog my books before, but I've tried to do it manually, and that just, it takes a whole lot of time, okay? And the problem is that it takes so long that I will eventually get bored and stop doing it, which is also why this is a year-long project for me. I don't have to do it all in like a month or two. This is one of my big year-long projects, right? I don't make resolutions, I make goal lists, and then I also like divide those into projects. And this is one of my projects for the year. I think this is probably the bigger project that I have this year. So I'm excited to set this up. Okay, so I'm gonna connect the thing to my computer and see how this all works. So, okay, got my thing to do here. Okay, wait, instructions. Let's use remember. Okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with this. Okay, let's just, when in doubt, look up how to do it. So I figured it out. It took a minute. So apparently this thing, you can like put it to write on a Word doc or something like that, which I think is ridiculous. I don't want that. I want the pictures and everything, and I wanted to organize it on its own because I don't want to go through that. So I do as I always do when I need to find something, and I went on TikTok, which is, you know, it's gonna be sad for me once it doesn't exist tomorrow. So I went in and I looked up this thing and how to set it up, and someone directed me to this software, Libib, and I created an account. It was super easy to create an account, and so this is where my collection's gonna live, I guess. And so I have some books here, and so I tried one out already. It worked. And so you just have to create your own, you can create your own collections. I wonder if there's a way of like seeing my collections like in a list form. I don't know. There has to be. Oh, and maybe if I go to my dashboard. I'll figure that out. I have to play around with this, but it seems pretty straightforward and easy to use, and I already scanned one of my books in and it worked wonderfully. And so I have to go to the add items page. I created 2 collections to start, physical books and libros físicos, so I'm gonna separate them, English and Spanish. I did some digging, and apparently they recommend that if you want to group something by genres, to do it in the tags. So you can go into the book, you hit the edit button, and this page is gonna come up, and then you can add tags, notes, and groups, which I think is really cool because I want to be able to tag things that are under the same genres or groups or general reading things. So I think that'll be really cool. And then I can add notes. So for example, I can keep track of when I bought books, when I first got them, when they were added to my collection. I think that will be really, really great. I'm gonna do that for this book. Now you can also add the price, which I'm not gonna do because I don't need to see that. I really don't need to know, or maybe I do need to know how much my library is worth, just in case of anything happening. Choices need to be made. Anyway, I'm gonna tag these. I'm not entirely sure what the groups are. I should probably do a little bit more research on that. Obviously, I don't know when all of my books are from, but I do know some. Let's see if I can rapid add items, because that would be great. Let's try that. These are all going on physical books. That's in Spanish, so we're not gonna do that, but that's in Spanish too. Fuck, I need a couple more books in English. Give me a sec. Okay, I got 3 books. I don't know if the first one scanned. It didn't, so let's just do that real quick. It does let me mass add items, so like I can do them rather quickly. So this is working great so far. It does take a lot of like manual entry on my part, but I'm not necessarily mad about that. And also being able to like create collections will be great for keeping things organized. So I'm psyched about this so far. I just started the project and I think it's already going great. So this is great. So I played around with this for a little bit, figured out how to use it, figured out what groups were, which is just for grouping books that are in the same series. Very important to know. I've logged in about 4 books right now, right? Because I wanted to start small so I can play with this thing. And I realized that I'm gonna start from scratch. So I made 2 collections. I made physical books and libro físico, so I could differentiate between English and Spanish. But I'm gonna scrap that idea because I want to be able to see all of my books in the same place together, like when I come into the collection. And so the only way of doing that is by having all of my books in the same collection. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna have a single collection called Tati's Library, and then I'm gonna sort the books using the tags Spanish and English. So I figured that's a better way of cataloging everything so that I can see everything together and then just know Spanish, English, whatever the hell. So I think that's what the strategy that we're gonna go with. I'm really loving the platform, especially because it lets you do all sorts of different things. It lets you not only add tags, but also if you go to the details tab, you can log your rating, you can log in your reviews, you can log in, I mean, I guess how many times I've read it. I'm so excited to get into all of this and like start dumping all my data in here because I have a lot of it. I've been tracking my books mostly consistently since 2020. This shit's about to get a whole lot of data, so the data nerd in me is about to be really fucking happy, really entertained, and this is exactly why this project is a year-long project, because there is no way that I can catalog all of this and transfer all my data in just like a month, right? So this is definitely gonna be a long-haul project, but I'm really excited about it. This is why this is like my huge project of the year. I have like other smaller projects that I'm doing throughout the year, but this is like the big year-long 2025 project. I'm very excited about this entire thing that I'm gonna be doing. I'll show things along the way, what I'm doing, what I'm up to, how it's going, the book count, because that's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be so much. The book count is just gonna be astronomical, I can already tell. But yeah, I'm very excited to get started on this project, so I'm gonna go scrap the collection that I've already made, rescan all the books that I already added in. Thankfully, I only added 4, so it's not gonna take me that long to rescan everything. I ran into my first problem with this idea. It's that it uses the language the books are in to best sort them. So I probably will have to make 2 libraries. One in English and one in Spanish. Which is like kind of shitty. I don't like that. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna scan for books and we're gonna add 4 in Spanish and see how it goes, right? And not even like putting in any details. We're just gonna do a test and see how it goes. So far, it seems to be working fine with the books in Spanish. I did run into a little bit of a problem, and that is that there are certain books that I own that come from publishing houses in Europe, and I didn't buy them in Puerto Rico. So the QR code doesn't really scan. So those books I am gonna have to add manually. Pretty sure that those are the minority of my collection, nowhere near the majority. So I think it should be fine. And so far, it's been cataloging the books in Spanish really well. Some of them, it even translates them. Like it does like a little slash thing on the title, but it's registering the Spanish titles really well, so I don't think it's gonna be a problem to have them all under a single unified library. And honestly, if it does turn out to be a problem, I don't really care. Like, a couple titles out of place are not gonna make that big of a difference. Even I can like let it go a little bit. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go through the books that I just added, adding in key details and basically importing data. We'll keep going, so let's get to that. Okay, so I just found out that I can change the added to the collection date, right? Because if I just upload them all now, it seems like I just uploaded everything today, which makes a lot of sense. So I can change the added to the collection date. Again, for a lot of my books from like 2022, 2023 to now, I have dates for a lot of them. Not all of them, but for a lot of them. Before that, not really. I can guesstimate as best as I can. So for some I'll be changing the dates, others I won't, and also I have to add like a specific date. So for example, for this one, I'm not exactly when in October of last year I got it, but I just added the 15th. It's smack in the middle of the month, and that just makes sense to me. So some I'll change, some I probably won't, and it's all good. I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna keep going. So I keep learning about this. So I was wondering how the tag system works and what's the use of it, right? Because I figured like, oh, I go into the book, I click on the tag, it'll take me to everything. It doesn't, but I figured out how to do it. So once I'm in the main page for my collection, right, I go to the filters tab and a drop down menu appears on the side, and that's where all my tags are. And if I click it, then it'll show me all the books under that tag. This is so smart. I'm really loving this app. This is great. I'm back. Hello. It's been several hours since I last checked in. It's already 2:30 and I hadn't even noticed. That's great. So, where are we at right now? I'm checking in because I finished a section. I finished all the books that are over there in my nightstand. So my nightstand is basically one of those 6-cubed pieces of furniture. And so I have books on top of it and I have books in the cubes. And I finished cataloging all of them, and I have officially cataloged 41 books, and I've been at this for a couple hours, which is exactly why this project is a year-long project. I've gotten a lot done and I've learned a lot about the platform. So here's the things that I've done. I've cataloged all those books, right? And some of them don't have covers for some reason that I don't understand. So I've looked them up and put them in, right? Because I want my catalog to be as comprehensive as possible, right? And so for some of them I've added reading dates if they have those. A bunch of them are also older books that I've got from high school, and so it's thinking back, when did I read this, adding it in. For the books that I have an added date or an estimated added date of like when I purchased them, when they came into the collection, I'll add that. If they don't have an added date, that I'll just leave them as if they've been added to the collection today in the system. It's fine. It's gonna bug me forever, but there's nothing I can do, right? We're cataloging over a decade's worth of books. I don't have the dates for all of them, and that's fine. I did have to manually enter 3 books, which was an experience. I have these 3 books, which I thrifted years ago, I think pre-2020, something like that. And these are part of a larger collection called The Great Books of the Western World. And it's sort of like an encyclopedic collection. It's published by Encyclopedia Britannica. These, for some reason, they share an ISBN with another book. So getting them on the system was a pain. And I just had to add them in manually. Honestly, it wasn't that hard. Most of the information is in here as is. So it took me a couple minutes, but it really wasn't all that bad. And really what I was cataloging is just title editor, publish date, publishing company, and a description. And for the description, all I did was add what volume it is and what is in that volume. And not even that detailed, just the writers that are in that volume. So that was that. And then tagging the thing. And those are one of the books that are gonna go without price because it just doesn't have them. And I'm not even gonna attempt to try to find one online. Everything else has been pretty easy, pretty streamlined. It's going pretty well. I'm very happy with the progress I've made. I think I'm gonna try to tackle one of the shelves of the cart before I run out of steam. But honestly, I'm really enjoying this process and how it's going. We're doing good. The tagging system's a little bit annoying because I'm doing it manually. And so I forget tags all the time. So what I did is that I started on my iPad in a Google Doc the entire list of tags that I have, like everything that I've added. Every time I add in a new tag, I add it to the list, and so I can just look at the list while I'm tagging. And so I try to keep it straight. Problem was that when I was over there adding books, I left the iPad over here, and so I had to go back and re-tag a bunch of stuff. Otherwise, we're doing okay. I think the process is going rather smoothly. That's the update. I'll see you later. Okay, here's the update. I think I'm stopping for now because the scanner ran out of battery, so it's currently charging. I managed to catalog a full 50 books today, 51 copies according to my library because I added in the digital copy for one of the books that I own. I almost completely finished the bottom shelf of the cart, but the scanner ran out of battery, so I had to stop there. Honestly, 50 books for a day's work is not bad, especially with how detailed I'm being, that I'm adding a lot of extra information because I want the catalog to be as robust as possible. And I think before I'm fully done for the day, I'm gonna go through one more time and just check if I have to add any other info, reviews, or anything like that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the day's work. It's going well. I'm having fun. So I'm really excited for this project that I started this year, and seeing it evolve throughout the year and seeing that number rise. So I think that's the update for the day, and I'm gonna go look at that list one more time, and then I'm gonna go do something else. So yeah, that's it for today. Okay, bye.